Hello everyone, welcome to the energy reading of the week. Sorry for my glass to steaming up. It is very hot here in Bristol in the southwest of England, unusually hot, and my office is not air conditioned. Anyway, that's not that interesting. In case you don't know me, I'm Ange de Lumière. I'm an intuitive business strategist. I support ambitious individuals learning about tools, spiritual tools in particular, that can help them be more successful without compromising the quality of their life, without endangering their health or their relationships. And I do that with my EPIC framework. And if you want to know more about it, feel free to message me, get in touch with me wherever you see this video online. I work in Zoom. I've been doing this work specifically in the intuitive strategy field for about 8 years now, and I love it. So I've created my own deck called the Healing Burnout with the Angels deck. And today we're going to tune into the energy of the week, which means we're going to know what the universal energies are supporting for us to work on in order to reduce the risk of burnout whilst allowing for new levels of success. So here's what, oh, this is a beautiful one. We got nature, and so what we are encouraged to do is to spend more time in nature. Now, I know that's not possible for everyone, especially for those of you who live in big cities, and I've been there myself, even though I do love living in big cities. We're lucky in the UK that big cities still have a lot of greenery, parks and stuff. But what I want to say is that you can have nature in very small ways in your living environment. If you live in a flat, you can still have plants, but it's also about sending out your energy out to the world where nature is. You don't have to be directly in touch with it, but obviously it's best if you can. I'm particularly keen on barefoot walking because it connects us, obviously, whilst it's doing in a safe environment. If you have any wounds under your feet, for example, that's not a good idea, but I'm sure you know that. Other than that, our feet are pretty sturdy, and being able to walk on the sand, on grass, and even on soil is very beneficial for us in the sense that it connects us to nature. Some people would say to you that there's negative ions, whatever happening there. I'm not a scientist, so I wouldn't be able to explain that properly. But just going outdoors, right? Here in the UK, we're lucky. I don't know if it's luck or not, but most places don't have air conditioning. So if we want fresh air, we have to open our windows, which is, I think, a good thing. When you live in completely air-conditioned environments, you're actually depriving yourself of true fresh air, air that's circulated, air that's purified. Now, obviously, there's also pollution. So in some cases, if you open your window, you could have actually more pollution coming into your house than is healthy. So I'm going to ask you to all be very mindful of where you live, of your health conditions and everything like that. But generally, being able, like, I'm going to give you an example of what I did yesterday with one of my closest friends. We went for brunch, and after brunch, we sat on a bench in a slightly wooded area in town. It's like a park, but with lots of trees, but also lots of houses. And we just sat there and we let the wind, the breeze on our face, and we were chatting. And it was just plain wonderful. I didn't take my shoes off. I could have, but I didn't. But still, that was pretty fantastic. So this week, we are encouraged to go outdoors as much as we can, as much as feasible. and preferably in places where there's lots of trees or plants or grass or sand, and places where we can recharge ourselves away. I suppose in a way it's to take us away from technology, from the virtual world, from screens and all that. And believe me, I'm not one to vilify screens. I know for myself, for absolutely years, screens were the only way I could really have a social life. And for people who can't get out of their houses, it's a breath of fresh air in terms of connection with other people. So I'm not one to say, oh, complain when people are on their phones, because you don't know what they're going through and you don't know how they use it, and it's none of your business. But sometimes we also need to pull away from these devices, and we need to spend time in nature. And I suppose that's the call for this week. So don't be shy. Grab any opportunity. If you have a bit of spare time, I know it's not all of us, go, and even if it's 5 minutes, walk around the block, park a little bit further from where you need to go so that you have that chance to have a walk, and allow nature to touch you. Nature has so many gifts for us in terms of beautiful things to look at, and just grab the opportunity. Nature is here to support us this week, to replenish us energetically, and there's nothing that replenishes our energies quicker than a walk in nature. I can tell you that much. It's more powerful than a Reiki session. It's more powerful than anything else. So if you can, please do. That's it for me this week. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you'd like to learn more about energy, prosperity, intuition, and courage, this is the framework that I teach to people in business, entrepreneurs who want to have those solid foundations to reach the next level of success. Obviously, I am a business in strategist, so I can help you with the strategy in your business, but I'm also very concerned about building that platform for your success, so that you don't have to burn out or sacrifice one area of your life in order to achieve that success, because otherwise it's not sustainable. There'll be a link to my website underneath. I was going to do a webinar, which I probably mentioned, but I've decided to push it back to September because I need a break. But you can obviously sign up for my newsletter, which will be underneath this video as well, so that you know what's new in my world whenever it happens. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.